Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Quarantine Bunker Studio. I am your man in Japan, Jay Contra, and I'm here with another voiceover, narration, reaction video, whatever you want to call it, look at a hard off. Now, this hard off is in Shingu. It is outside of Fukuoka City. I was a couple of months ago visiting my girlfriend, helping her move out of her apartment, and while I was there, we checked out the local hard off. Now, this is actually a very special hard off because not only is it close to a Costco, it is right next door to an IKEA. So it's a very wonderful day when I head out to this particular hard off. Now, you can already see something that has driven me absolutely insane for the last 8 years that I've been going to this place. This window lets in a blasting, blaring, stunning amount of sunlight into the hard off. And the hard off does not UV coat or protect or wrap its games. And I have seen a copy of Hagane in there for about $200 that has just been bleached by the sun. We'll see if it's in here. I can't actually remember. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start the video now just so that you can even just get a glimpse of what it's like in this place. So that window just lets the sun into the showcase. Like, look, so we're going to be going through the showcase in this first video as a part of this series. I don't know how many videos it's going to end up being, but it is crazy to me that you'll have games that sit here for months upon years just getting blasted by the sun and they don't do anything about it. Now, looking at the games right here, boy, we got some doozies here. So we've got Street Fighter Alpha for the Game Boy Color. That's going for... Is that $400? I'm very sorry. It drives me nuts. So it does not have the manual. I should mention that. It's either $45 or $450. I don't think it's $450 if I had to guess, because right next to it they've got Street Fighter 2 going for the Game Boy, going for $40. Well, actually, right now it's 107 yen to the dollar, thereabouts. So, you know, just please excuse my math on that. It's just going to make me a lot easier if I can simplify some things. We've got a Twin B looking like it is for the Game Boy. No, for the disk system, excuse me. We've got Moidu Twin B going for $50. All of these prices, if I had to guess, are after tax. Yeah, looking at the kanji, usually at hard offs, the big price that they display is the price after tax for your reference. Next, we've got Battle Unit Zeoth going for $50. And then on the bottom left, we have a copy of Contra, a loose copy of Contra, going for $150. Okay, no, just looking at the label, it doesn't seem like it's a special variant of Contra. I don't think such a thing exists. This is not a $150 game. It is maybe $50 most, and that would be like at Akihabara. So no, don't spend $150 on Contra. Next, we've got Splatterhouse for the Famicom. That's going for $50, and then we've got a Ninja Gaiden game going for $45 for the Game Boy. That's like $150 for Contra. That's absolutely incredible. I can't believe they're charging that. I don't know what would make them think they could charge that much for it. Okay, interesting. We've got, let's see, City Connection going for $30 in the top right. That's for the Famicom. We've got Jikyo Oshaberi Parodius going for, looks like $30 for the Super Famicom. A couple of Game Boy Color games going for $30. Street Fighter. Then we've got Crossed Swords going for $80. That's a bit pricey. Would like to see it a little bit cheaper. Maybe Crossed Swords 2. So Crossed Swords 1 for the Neo Geo CD is very fun. I would love to play Crossed Swords 2. But Crossed Swords 2 tends to be the more expensive one, also because it is a Neo Geo CD exclusive game, which you don't actually see many of. Next, we've got Burning Angel for the PC Engine going for $90. And then we've got, I can't remember how to pronounce that kanji. But it is an $80 game for the Neo Geo CD. Yeah, the Neo Geo CD has really, really shot up in price over the last couple years. It drives me absolutely insane because it's one of the first systems that I collected for, and then I just kind of stopped and I sort of moved on. But man, if 5 years, 8 years ago, if I had actually put some money into the Neo Geo CD, man, my collection would be worth a lot now. And there's just some really, really fun games. We've got even more Neo Geo CD games here. We've got Burning Fight going for $80. We've got Nam 1975 going for $110. I'd like to see it at $80. If it was $80, that's something that I would buy, not at $110. Next, we've got Jigoku Meguri, like what would that, like Hell Pilgrimage or something like that. That's for the, looks like it's for the PC Engine. Yeah, it's a Hue card. That's going for $90. We've got Ghost Pilots for the Neo Geo CD going for $99. Now about $90 after tax. No, I'd like to see it for 70. I've definitely seen it in Tokyo for 70. All around, just in the first few minutes of this showcase, I can already tell that this place is more pricey than it should be, especially considering that it's in the middle of nowhere, Japan. So I don't see why they think they can charge this much for stuff. Maybe people are paying this amount, but no, I wouldn't pay this amount, especially not for Aso 2: The Last Guardian for the Neo Geo CD. That's like a $60 game. It's not a $99 game like it is here. We've also got Baseball Stars Professional going for $80, and that rounds out this particular showcase here. So really, the Neo Geo CD, I've seen more games now that maybe it's because I'm actually looking for them, but I've seen more. It used to be really hard to find Neo Geo CD games for a long time. Next up, we've got $110 for, oh god, it's not Garou, is it? No. And then we've got $99. See, these are just like basic fighting games. Like the whole premise behind the Neo Geo CD was that you had a system that played Neo Geo quality games, so really top level stuff, from shooting games to fighting games, that would be really, really expensive on the cartridge. But then you could get the Neo Geo CD and you could buy the CDs for relatively cheap, for at most $30, $40. But when you look at the copies of these games here, like Magician Lord for $120, like you could find Magician Lord in a cartridge for like $200, like maybe $400 if you're going to like Mandarake. But $100 for a Neo Geo CD game just seems, I don't know what's going on with the market. I can't believe, and also, yeah, that's okay. I'll talk about something later that I might want to bring up. We got Aliens vs. Predator for the Super Famicom. That's going for $60. We've got Doki Doki Panic, which, if you didn't know, the Doki Doki Panic is sort of the basis for Super Mario 2 in the United States and Europe. This is the original release. Was a tie-in with a show that was on Fuji TV back in the 80s. That's going for $40. That seems a bit overpriced. It's not that sought after, and there's more than enough to go around. And then we've also got an Indiana Jones game for the Super Famicom going for $90. But yeah, Neo Geo, big missed opportunity for me. Wow, even more Neo Geo CD games. So I've actually got a couple things here. We have a DS that looks like a white DS Lite on the top right. That's going for $38. That's actually pretty good. So one thing that you will get a deal on at this Hard Off and other Hard Offs are on portable hardware, because what I've seen in Akihabara is portables have really skyrocketed in price. And even though the DS Lite was printed into oblivion, there's so many out there, finding one that's in decent condition can be very difficult. So I've started to see them go for $50 plus in Tokyo. And that also goes for the Game Boy on the left, that beautiful clear Game Boy, going for $77. Even now, actually, yeah, that's actually a good price for something that even your normal white, or whatever the light gray, whatever the official color is called, that can go for, even at Super Potato, like $130. Trader, maybe $100 if you're lucky. Game Boys, everything from Game Boy to the DS has really gone up in price, especially the DS Lite, because it is backwards compatible with the Game Boy Advance. Looking towards the bottom, and I hope I can move to see the price there. Yeah, so we've got, on the left, we've got Double Dragon for the Neo Geo CD. Now, the Double Dragon that was released for the Neo Geo is very interesting to me in that I am used to Double Dragon being a sort of belt-scrolling, very fun action game. But the Neo Geo version is just like a one-on-one, like 2D fighting game that I don't have a lot of interest in, although as much as I love Double Dragon. Next, we've got Vegas, which is going for $25 for the PC Engine. Maybe that's good. Looks like a shooter, although it says Tactical Gladiator, so I'd be interested to see what kind of game that is. And then we've got Gon for the Neo Geo CD on the right, going for $38 as well. You'll notice Double Dragon and Gon have the same price, because for some reason what Hard Off tends to do is, while on maybe the rare titles, it will assign a specific price based on the title, but a lot of games just sort of fall into, here's your $38 game, here's your $10 game, here's your $15 category of games, your $5 category of games, and so on. Next, we've got on the right a copy of Rockman X4 for the PlayStation, going for $20, very reasonable. And then we've got some kanji that I can't read for a PC Engine game that's going for $25. A Game Boy Pocket going for $80. Not terrible. What's interesting to me is that I think the boxes on the left and the Game Boy itself is just out, and for some reason they've also priced that one. I don't see why they would price the complete in-box version and the bare unit at the same price. So I'm assuming that's a combined thing right there. And then we've also got a beautiful red DS Lite. Oh man, I'm really jealous of that DS Lite. That one, it was going for like, what, $30 for that red one. Absolutely love that color. That's the one DS Lite that I have, is red and black. Here we have Takahashi Meiji no Bokenjima Adventure Island for the Super Famicom. That's going for $10. We've got Tokyo Disneyland Big Adventure going for, is that $46? The ink that, yeah, they didn't print out the price properly, or it's just been blasted by the sun. Most likely been blasted by the sun. That is going for $40 potentially, or $6. I'm not sure. Then we've got Keeper going for, again, a mystery price because I can't tell, because it's probably just been blasted. We've got Cool Spot going for what I think is $20, and then one of the Goemon games, which I wouldn't pay, if it was a cart, I wouldn't pay more than $10 for it. But I can't tell what it is here, probably because it's just, again, a lot of these prices really hard to tell. Yeah, I'm starting to see some label fade on these. Like that Bomberman looks a bit faded. That the Gege no Onitaro, is that 3,000 yen? It's hard to tell with the yen symbol. Maybe $20 for that. Bomberman 3 going for maybe $15. Dragon Ball Z. And then why did they put them in upside down? That's so strange to me. The way Hard Offs handle their showcases is very different depending on the Hard Off. And so you just have all different kinds of standards across all the different hard offs. And when there's 1,000 of them across the country, you're going to get some inconsistencies. We have Contra, Super Contra, or was it Contra 4, the Alien Wars? That's going for mystery price because I can't tell because of this case. We've got, what have we got? We got another Parodius game going for what looks like maybe $30. We've got Japanese Super Mario Bros. 2. Now, this is the actual Super Mario Bros. 2. This is the one that they released for the disk system only. It would get ported in the Super Mario collection for the Super Famicom. This is the one that is hard as balls. It really sucks. I hate it. I do not recommend it unless you enjoy dying a lot. Then we've got the Super Famicom remake of Dragon Quest III. It's pretty common. I wouldn't pay more than $10 for it, although I don't actually know the exact price on it in Tokyo. Then we've got a Kunio game going for $30. Above that, we've got some more interesting games. We've got, so we've got some Famicom disc games. We've got Volleyball going for a mystery price because they just, or maybe I didn't include it in this particular shot. So let's see, we've got Dead Zone. We've got Link's Adventure going for maybe $18. Link's Adventure, yeah, Link's Adventure is a fun game. My only issue with it is when you actually sit down to play it, because of the way the disc system works, is when I replace the band in my disc system, it tends to slip. And basically, every time you make a transition, whenever you go into a town, whenever you leave town, whenever you go into a dungeon in The Legend of Zelda 2, you have to load. And so I just had the drive belt constantly fell off my system when I was playing. But maybe that's because I had installed it poorly. Take that for what you will. Unfortunately, Japan never got a cartridge version of The Legend of Zelda 2. Same goes for Metroid. We didn't get a Metroid cartridge in Japan either. Then we've got Rockman X2, which I cannot tell the price. It's just so faded. I'm sorry, I can't tell you what that's going for. Oh, those are the other ones. We already checked out those. Don't need to talk about those. Doki Doki Panic it's a fun game. It is fun. Next, we've got some very expensive titles here. We've got Overtop for the Neo Geo CD on the top left. That's probably the second most expensive game for the system behind Brickinger, or I think there might be one or two others, but going for $350, that's one of the pricier ones. Then we've got Cyber Lip, which is going for $220, and a Robo Army going for $250. Wow. Then we've got Cross Swords 2, the Neo Geo CD exclusive, very fun game, $120. Then we've got Sengoku going for $120 as well. And Fighter's History Dynamite going for $20. One of the few remaining cheap Neo Geo CD games. Which is, I think that's the one that it's Karnov's Revenge. That's the one that's like the super. It's the what do I want to say? The Street Fighter 2 ripoff. That yeah, it's fun, but yeah, it's basically Street Fighter 2. Oh, okay, this is interesting. We've got for the Neo Geo CD. Where were these games 5 years ago, man? When I was collecting for this, we've got Soccer Brawl going for $70, and then on the right we have, this is the best collection version. This is for the Sega Saturn. This is Doronpachi, extremely fun shooting game that's very evocative to me of sort of the mid-90s. It's that cave shooter. What was it released? Atlas published it, but I think it was developed by Cave or whoever would eventually become Cave. Extremely fun, highly recommend it. I think the PlayStation version is slightly cheaper, so if you have a PlayStation that can play Japanese games, that's the one I would recommend if you want like the original version. Then we've got a Pro Action Replay. What system is that for? I cannot tell. It is going for $130. Pro Action Replays can be very difficult to find. It is for the PlayStation 1. Yeah, I've never seen something like this before. I've seen Pro Action Replays, but I don't even know how the Pro Action Replay for the PS1 even works. So this is actually a really cool find. I don't know how much its actual value is, but again, if you want it, that's the price you got to pay for it. Maybe you can find it cheaper elsewhere, but again, you have to find it. Going on, we've got Double Dragon on the top left for the Super Famicom. Return of Double Dragon, I believe is what it is. That is going for $40. That's a bit pricey. I wouldn't pay more than $20 for Double Dragon. Then we've got, for the Neo Geo CD, we've got Sonic Wings 2. Very, very fun. Still crazy that it's $30. Very affordable. Highly recommended if you're collecting Neo Geo CD games. Then we've got a Digimon game for a system that I cannot tell from the box. On the bottom right, we've got Zenki for the Super Famicom going for $40. Then we've got Super Metroid that I cannot see the price tag for, and another Digimon game, although it does have a scratch on the disc, so fair warning about that. Next we've got, wow, War of the Gems. Okay, Super Metroid's $30, by the way. I wouldn't pay more than $15 for a bare cartridge of Super Metroid. Next we've got War of the Gems in the middle. That's going for $100. It seems to me that there were a lot of localizations of Marvel games that had come out in America. That well, it's although it is a Capcom game, so okay, interesting. I'd actually really love to play this. The Marvel games that came out for the Super Famicom, I think they look really really fun. I think they're beat 'em ups. This one in particular, 100 seems a bit pricey. There was like also a Wolverine game. I know it's DC, but the Batman games for the Super Famicom are also very fun. To the left, we've got another copy of Parodius going for $38. And even beneath that, we've got Turtles in Time. Wow, $30 for Turtles in Time. That's actually, for a place that is seeming to overprice most everything else, $30 for Turtles in Time is actually pretty good for what at least used to be like a $45 or $50 game. I don't know if the price is going down or just for some reason they're pricing it below what it usually goes for. And then on the right, we've got the Medarot 4, which is going for $80 complete in box. Although that is actually a first edition. That is a first print run. So maybe that's what's causing it to be $80. Although Medarot games, I would never say they've been particularly popular. I've never heard of Japanese people talk to me about them, but they seem to hold their value for whatever reason. Well, and the Neo Geo CD games do not stop. We've got Final Romance, Idol Mahjong Final Romance going for $18. Rockman X, the original, going for $25. No, you can find that for $10 pretty easily. We've got Parodius for $30. Hamerun, that's going for $30. Oh, the fade on that Goldeneye. We'll get to that in a second. Then we've got Dracula Double X, the hardest Castlevania game that I have ever played. That is going for the label fade. Again, I can't tell you what the price is on that. I wouldn't pay over $50, not for a loose copy, and even then could probably find it cheaper. We've also got Rockman Soccer, which looks like it's going for $25. Complete in box Dracula X should be about $150 tops. I've seen it go for more in Mandarake if you're looking at like the mintiest of minty versions. Here we've got Goldeneye with some label fade going for $30. Not terrible if you could find it in better condition. Notice on the left, so the colors on the one to the right are much deeper and much richer because it has not been blasted by the sun for as long as the one on the left. So if you had to buy one, buy that one that's in the middle. $30 is actually a pretty good price for Japanese Goldeneye. It can get pretty expensive. We've also got Spelunker going for about $25. We've got Rudora's Secret Treasure, Dokapon 321. Sorry, can't tell you the price on that because I can't see it in this showcase. And then we've got a Goemon game going for $30. Those labels look quite old, so these have been sitting here for a long time. So I wonder if that's because the price on these is just too high. We've also got Motoko-chan no Wanda Kichin. That's going for a mystery price. Rockman X. Oh, is that? We've got a Band Presto mobile suit game, a couple copies of that. Street Fighter Alpha 2, and a Dragon Ball Z game. What else do we have? All right, we're going to end it here because we've been going for more than 20 minutes, so I'm going to need to take a break after this. But we have a complete box copy of the Oshaberi Parodius. We just saw this loose for about $30. If you want something that is complete in box, here it is for $60. We've also got another copy of Street Fighter Alpha 2. We have is that a PlayStation? Yeah, that is a PlayStation. Interesting. I wonder why. So we've got a different version of the Pro Action Replay. This looks like, so I think the previous one was a Pro Action Replay 3, I want to say. Please excuse my bad short-term memory. Here we've got the Pro Action Replay 2. This one looks like it is going for $90. And then on the right, we've got Mickey Mania, The Adventures of Mickey Mouse, going for what looks like about $38 complete in box. I'm going to stop this video right here. We've seen a lot of videos, an absolutely incredible showcase in terms of Neo Geo games, even if they're overpriced. Again, I'll say this in every video if I have to, but the prices have increased on all of these Japanese games. We've seen a bit decreasing prices for the Super Famicom and the Famicom. But what I've noticed is that when I was collecting Neo Geo CD games, it's very difficult to find the rare stuff, the stuff that I actually wanted. But as the price has gone up, you've seen people trade in their games, and you've seen stores actually put them out on display. So it can be one thing to find a game that is very cheap, but you only find it maybe once a year if you're lucky. But if you really want a game and you're willing to pay the price, then the increase in price is actually not terrible. Yes, it sucks that you will get less for your money, but at least you will actually get something. So again, everything is worth what its purchaser will pay for it. If it's worth $150 for a copy of Neo Geo CD Metal Slug, then pay that price. Otherwise, just wait. There's also some time value to your money. If you're willing to wait, then yes, you'll get a deal. If you went to this hard off and you think all these games are expensive like I do, I just think that because I've had the time to where I can go around to different hard offs and pick it up. But if this is your one chance to pick up these games, then a lot of these prices are probably going to be cheaper than what you'll see on eBay, even still. With that little note, I'm going to be continuing. There's a lot more in this hard off that I'll be reacting to. We've got even more showcase to look at. I hope you'll join me in the next video. I hope you've enjoyed this particular video. Please leave me a comment on what you think about this new format. Please let me know if I've messed up anything, particularly with this new setup that I'm still working out, even though we're a few videos in. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. I've been your man in Japan, Jay Contra, saying mahalo.